up in the morning.
Very nice. Hey, my name's Asher. We're here at Team Music Care in Redcliffe, Australia, and I have an artist here. His name's Grem, and we're going to talk about this new song that he's recorded and written here at Music Care, and we're going to dive into some of the meanings behind the lyrics. The song's called Rise Up. This is Grem. Introduce yourself and tell us about yourself.
I'm Grem Warrington. I've got multiple sclerosis, and this song has come about as a part of having MS for 10 years and my struggles with MS.
Yeah. So have you always been musically inclined?
I've always liked music, but I've always had it in me, but never got around to doing anything about it.
True. And how was the last couple of months been for you?
Chaotic. Knowing you is very chaotic.
Yeah. Plug Team Music Care. My name's Asher, and I can help you write songs. But we'll try and get you nice and close up on that mic. Do you want me to pull it? Are you right? Yeah,
that's all right.
That's it.
That's
so we started off doing guitar lessons. Hey.
Started off, didn't last long.
Yeah, and then how did the transition go from guitar lessons to songwriting?
Well, someone mentioned, why don't I write a song? And I asked, how do you do that? And you just said, write down all my feelings, how I was feeling at the time and things, and that's what happened.
And then the next week I came back, and then you had like 3 pages of of stuff, which is awesome. We kind of drew off all of the one-liners and the thoughts and the memories that you wrote down, and then put it into song form. So the song that we were playing at the start is Grem's song, and we've just released it, and we thought we'd go through some of the lyrics for you. Starting at the top, verse 1, woke up in the morning, couldn't see. How are we feeling about that? Can you give us some insight onto the meaning behind that?
I was going through the stages of getting diagnosed with MS. I was having a lot of funky stuff happening at the time, like slurred speech and blurred visions and stuff like that. And then I just went to bed one night with perfect vision and woke up and I couldn't see shit.
It's wild. And yeah, as the next line states, world changed.
Oh, it changed for 3 months until I got my sight back.
True. And was that a thing that you or the doctors were anticipating, or?
Nah, not even the optometrist knew. He just said, all right, sometimes you go to bed at 40 and you wake up and you can't see. I said, no, that doesn't sound right. I've never heard that happening before.
Yeah, wild. Yeah, and then I guess that links into the doctor saying that you'll basically be in a wheelchair in 5 years.
A lot of doctors don't know everything about MS. They're only guessing their way through the diagnosis like everyone. They assumed I would be in a wheelchair in 5 years. About 15% of people end up in wheelchairs after 10 years because of if they don't do the right thing with caring for themselves and everything, dealing with MS.
Yeah.
It can end up that way.
True. And one of my favourite lines. Let us in. Oh, actually, can we listen to it? The second half.
Just masking the pain.
This one right here.
Diagnosed, criticized, embarrassed and ashamed.
Listening back to that, what are you feeling?
I was addicted. I had addictions that I didn't know I had. I was taking pills that I shouldn't really have been taking, thinking that they were doing something for me when they weren't doing nothing. You just do what you can to try and get by in life, especially when you get diagnosed with a disease like MS. You get diagnosed, you criticise because people have their own opinions of what's going to do you better, like you need more sun, you need exercise more. It's not that case. It's not a case of exercising more. Exercise does help dramatically if you do it, but it's not going to be the saviour for everything. You know, you can't control an MS relapse. Once you get a relapse, that's it. You can be Arnold Schwarzenegger and have the hugest muscles, and you do not have the physical strength to use those muscles. And people need to just really watch their mouth around people that have diseases. They shouldn't assume that they know what they're talking about, and the person's just being lazy. It's not fair on a person with a disability.
And speaking of that, you've got your patches on your shirt. Do you want to tell anybody about the other things that you run online?
Oh, I've got an MS awareness group on Facebook, and that's got nearly 3,000 people in it. Goes to over 51 countries. I've got my MS vest, and I do a lot of motorbike riding, and I've got the leather vest with all my patches on.
Yeah, I'm seeing new patches every week. And
new vest, new patches.
Yeah. So what is the aim behind this song? What do you aim to do with it?
To raise awareness to people with disability, to people with MS, well, any disability really. It sort of evolves around whatever people want it to evolve around. If they're doing it hard in their diagnosis, they can hopefully look back in this song, and instead of doing something stupid like killing themselves or anything like that, or overdosing, which I've tried, just take time to think before you act.
Yeah.
Because once you act, you can't go back from that act.
Which leads us on to the next line. Oh, I missed it. We'll go back a little bit further.
Criticized, embarrassed and ashamed. I felt like giving up. Heaven seemed an easier option to me. But now I see.
Yeah. I remember reading some of the things you had written down, and I was like, whoa, this is heavy. Like, and you mentioned that you didn't want everything to be sort of down. We wanted a lift in the song, and I can't really remember writing the chorus with you, but I remember you playing me one. You played me "Hold On."
Hold On.
Who sings that?
Wilson Phillips.
Wilson Phillips. I remember hearing that, and I'm like, oh, okay. How can we turn this around? And I forget who you might have come up with it. I don't. I seem to black out when I write songs at times. But intro us into the chorus. How did we get there, and what did you want people to feel through the chorus?
I want them to rise up, to be a better version of themselves. You got to ask. In 2019, I was going through a rough patch with drug addiction and all that, and wanting to kill myself again. And I read something that, do something today that your future self would thank you for. And so, Asher, in 10 years' time, would he be happy where you are right now?
Yeah.
Graham, in 10 years' time, I know he definitely wasn't. And it felt like he throttled me to the point of submission that I wanted to give up everything and start again.
Yep.
And I was very fortunate that in that time of diagnosis, I got married, and I've got a very beautiful wife that just does everything for me, looks after me. And she's the everything for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
So that changed everything for me.
Yeah, and I guess one thing, I remember you saying something and it hit me hard, but I kind of forget the exact words that you used. You were talking about hanging around for those that are left behind, and I was like, whoa. And I guess that's that'll be your missus and your puppy.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do anything stupid now, because I don't want to hurt her.
Yeah.
You know, if I can live the rest of my life just keeping her happy and trying to please her, that's my main aim now. And you don't do stupid stuff like that because you got to worry about people that you leave behind. You know, yeah, you might be out of pain now because you're dead, but what about the pain that you're leaving behind for the people that loved you while you were here?
Yeah. Totally. Should we get into the chorus?
Yep.
And I rise up, fight for what I want. Won't let this get the best of me. I find my strength to stand my ground. No, this won't bring me down.
Such a like such an awesome chorus. I love that. And you were talking about when we were singing this. I said, who's it directed to? And you kind of said anybody. It doesn't necessarily just mean people with MS. People struggling with anything, or even people that aren't struggling, getting alongside people who are struggling. We rise together.
Yep.
If all the there's a line in another song that I really like. If all the trees in the forest grow tall together, why can't we?
Exactly right.
Yeah. Cool. Into the second verse, which was one that you had to explain to me. Fire and ice driving me insane, and you tell me a bit about the meaning behind that.
Fire on ice, that's got nothing to do with drugs, which people think saying ice, but it's got nothing to do with drugs. That's fire and ice is a sensation you get as an MS sufferer. My hand felt like it was on fire. It was just burning. And then 5 seconds later, it'll be like in a bucket full of ice. It was just crazy. It drove me insane. Yeah, I was putting my arm up for night time to sit in the couch just to try and get the pressure down in my hand so it wouldn't throb and wouldn't burn.
So pretty literal.
Literally.
That line, fire and ice driving me insane. Everything that you say is what was happening.
Everything. This song is nothing's been made up. Everything is a God's honest truth. It's come out of journals that I've written since 2012.
Yeah.
And I've had to decipher my own writing from that, of how I was feeling. So there's a lot of things that I thought I put paid to, and doing this song's brought up a lot of stuff emotionally that I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah, and just finishing off some of the finalizing the mix. The other day you were saying you've run your own business, you've worked for yourself, you've done lots of different things, fiberglassing and kind of trades and stuff, and you said this was one of the hardest things that you've had to go through.
It was.
It's like digging up all of that past and
dealing with it again.
Yeah.
But it was done in a way that it was worth dealing with it if something positive can come out of it.
Yeah.
You know, if if this can turn someone's life around to make them a better example of what they are, then it was worth the pain.
Thanks for this, man. This is I feel like people need to hear this song.
There's a lot of people listen to a song because it's just a nice tune, but when you sit down and actually listen and feel the song and what it's about, that's where it counts. That's a song.
Yeah. Should we listen to verse 2?
Yep.
Fire and ice driving me insane.
This line too.
10 years nearly lost myself to find myself again. Just when things are looking up, they come crashing down around me, but I'm still standing. Here I am.
Yeah, that was a cool one as well. We were trying to figure out what the second verse needed to have, and you were like, yeah, This is bringing up all the memories from when we were doing this. But you were just like, yeah, this is tried to knock me on my ass, but I'm still standing.
It doesn't matter how hard it gets, you've got to get back up. It wins if you stay down. If you get back up, you're winning. And I wasn't prepared to let that happen. I've always been a resilient person that whatever life throws at you, just get back up again. Just keep getting back up. Yeah, I know there's times it's tiring getting back up all the time, but what else are you going to do? Lay down and just take it? No, that's just wasting your life. I've spent 10 years before this song just wasted my life. And what the hell for? I was taking drugs that I shouldn't be taking. The drugs were actually making me worse in my MS than what should have been. And in 2019, I decided enough was enough. I just got rid of everything cold turkey. No more Tramadols, no more Oxycondins, none of the hardcore stuff, none of the Lyrica. The Lyrica was making my nerves worse, in my opinion. And I feel a lot better for it now.
So how long, if you had to put a number, how many years has this song been in the making?
10 years.
10 years, nearly lost myself.
And I found myself again, bro.
Man, this whole song is full of gold. Like, the lyrics hit hard.
I've never cried so much than what I have writing this song. I've never been so emotional about something. How do you write a song when you've got tears rolling down your face and dripping on the page?
Yeah.
It doesn't really work good with tears.
Especially if you're on paper. And then, I mean, this song is full of my favourite parts, but the bridge, you mentioned that when we were talking about what kind of visuals you wanted for this part, you were saying like kind of dreamy, euphoric, sort of like trip down memory lane, just unpacking things. So we did a little bit with the vocals and the guitars. There's some dreamy picking guitars, and there's some like orchestral stuff in there. There's probably a little bit too much because we just had a lot of fun with this section. There's like those big drums that come in, which you probably can't hear as much until you solo them out. But how did you feel about the bridge?
I found that's probably one of my most favourite parts of the song is that bridge. Just the way it's written, the way it's sung, and it's like the moment of thoughts. That's the moment, that bridge. And that's sort of me putting everything together and, getting my life sorted out again.
Yeah, so is that... Was there a defining factor in the Grem that you say was lying down versus the Grem that stood up? Was there like a light switch moment, or was it gradual?
No, it was pretty automatic in 2019. I just had enough. I just could not carry on living this way. The way that I was going, I was making myself worse. And I just woke up to myself and got off all the drugs and just stayed doing what I'm doing now.
Nice.
And I still ride my bike.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you've had some hairy moments on it.
Oh, but, yeah, too many.
Well, let's play through this chorus, and then we get into the big vocal section.
Remember the hard times and my inner fears, fighting back the pain and all those salty tears. As dark as the night may be, there's still a light shining bright for me, changing history. This is who I was meant to be. I find my strength to stand.
And what people probably would miss is that that noise that you heard the first time that I put it in and laughed in the middle. That big riser.
That's all right, man. It's all, you know.
This one here.
Oh, that swirly bit. That is so cool. I like that swirly bit.
Yeah. So into the big kind of vocal and drums section at the end, and then another chorus. How did you find the process? How did you find?
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Was it nerve-wracking because you were kind of just not really sure about how it all happened, and then it, like each aspect, writing, demo, recording, and then like instrumental. We've got like 107 tracks on this song at the moment.
It's not as easy as one would think. Not what I thought.
Yeah. So was this what you expected it would be like, or was it totally different to how you envisioned recording a song would be?
It's turned out pretty good in my opinion. I'm quite happy with it. And the feedback I'm getting from friends and that online has just been phenomenal. A lot of them have sent me messages saying that hit so hard to them and they shed tears over it because they were MS sufferers that realised exactly what I was going through. And you don't realise that there is 26,000 people here in Australia that's got MS. There is nearly 1 million people in America that's got MS and nearly 3,000 people in the Philippines with MS. So there is a lot of people that this song could touch. It's up to them if they want to change. You know, I was, at the time of when I decided to change, I was 121 kilos.
True. And
I found life just so damn hard. You know, hard walking up and down stairs, and now that's all right. That's okay. I've gotten down to the 110 or something, so I'm happy with that. Life's a lot easier.
Because you made changes. You made the hard decision to change.
I woke up to myself.
Yeah.
There had to be a better life than where I was.
That's awesome.
If I had stayed on that path, it was just straight downhill.
So you're talking about this song affecting other people, but how has this process kind of felt for you?
It's helped me.
Yeah.
The struggle hasn't been all bad after hearing this song. Going through the last 4 months of doing it with you, it's sort of like the cream on the top of the cake.
Does it feel like sort of the start of a new chapter?
It could very well be.
Because it seems like, to me, and I've only known you for however long this has been going on, but it seems like the difference between when we were first trying to play bluesy covers on the acoustic to now, you're like shining. I don't know. I reckon I can see spark, and I'm just excited to see where this journey takes you, and really keen on more music. Like, this has just been a bit of a home run. Like, what's next?
It's been a total fluke, hasn't it? I don't know if that can happen again, man. There's no guarantees.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, what's next? How are we going to back this up? Is it we're obviously going to put this out on YouTube to explain the meaning about some of the lyrics and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Any last thoughts? Do you have a message for people out there? Do you want to shout out anybody? Yeah. How do we wrap this up?
Well, we just keep going, man. You know, where there's this one, we're working on Rise Up the dance track at the moment.
Yeah, that's
going to be fun to do. I see you're excited about doing that one.
I'm always excited.
Man, we've been bashing our heads against a brick wall with this song for 4 months.
Yeah, it had to be perfect. So you can't kind of half bake this one. I feel like,
and it's not a perfect song, but
yeah,
the lyrics. You know, I've been commented on how the lyrics have been written and done, but you know, I can't get it any more perfect, because if you do a perfect version of this, then you've lost its feeling. You've lost what the whole meaning of it's about.
Yeah,
and I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I want people just to see me in my raw state, basically, with, you know, it's up to everyone to take their own interpretations from this song, but what we've said today is what the song's about.
Yeah.
It can be used in so many different ways. I'm not going to say that they can't use it that way. You can. It's, you know, if it helps you to move forward, to get out of the mess that you're in now, then it's a job well done. It's a song that's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this song is worth every bit of time we've put in, all the tiny little changes that we've made. Yeah, I've had heaps of fun. Man, I love doing this, and I love seeing songs come to life. It's
it came to life.
Yeah. And oh man, it'd be interesting to dig up some of the first versions that we had of this, like recorded on a phone.
Yeah, I've got them. I was going to send them to you today.
Yeah, true. Cool. And you mentioned that you wanted to shout out some NDIS crew, and
I wouldn't have been able to do this if it wasn't for the NDIS. That was the main part of doing this thing. It's got me out of the house, and with Dan's pestering.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan.
But I've got to really comment on Asher as well. His ability to do things with this song just brought it its own way. His guitar playing was just everything that was just fell into place for this song. I wrote a simple line, and it went from a simple line. Woke up in the morning, like, you straight away started singing, woke up in the morning, blah, 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 blah. And I'm, where the hell's this going to go? And this is where it went. I wasn't stopping you.
Just to be fair, I didn't ask about the shout outs to get a shout out myself, but thank you. Cool. All right. Well,
and we should mention too, Team Music Care, Dan Neeb has done an amazing job down here.
Yeah.
Constructing Music Care, Team Music Care. He is such a caring person when it comes to dealing with people with disabilities, and he should be commended for that sort of thing that he's done for the journey.
Dan for president.
Definitely Prime Minister.
Cool. All right. Well, are we going to wrap it up there?
Yeah, I reckon.
Sign off. Thanks for tuning in. Asher and Grem here at Music Care. Go and listen to Rise Up. It's on Spotify. Well, we're going to put it on Spotify. And YouTube, we'll put a link down the bottom. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.